Hi there, this is Tony from pianotone.ca, and this is just a quick video to help you get started in how to record your own piano videos with a nice quality, clean sound. So let's check it out. So to get a good quality piano sound in your video, you need to connect your piano directly to the recording device, to your camera or to your phone. So you might be thinking, I'm already connecting my piano using my USB port to my tablet or my phone and using various piano apps that I've downloaded. Well, that's actually not going to work because that's going to be, in most cases, MIDI data. And what MIDI data isn't actually the audio coming from your piano, it's the data of what you're playing. What keys are you pressing, how long are you holding them down, was the sustain pedal pressed, that type of thing. And then the app at the other end takes that data and then recreates sound from it using sounds that are built into the app. So that's not something that your camera or your phone is going to understand as far as using it to record sound in a video. So what you need to use instead is the audio connection from your piano to your recording device. Now, to be able to do that, you're going to need something else, which is called an audio interface. Okay, so what's an audio interface? Well, an audio interface is something that's going to turn the sounds that are coming from your piano into a digital audio stream that your recording device, your camera or your phone can understand. So what you're going to be doing is taking either audio outputs from your piano or your headphone jack if you don't have audio outputs, and then that's going to go into your audio interface box, and then the audio interface is then going to connect to your recording device to send the audio to it. And then that way, the recording device is going to use the audio from the audio interface instead of its built-in microphone. So you get a nice, really good, clean quality signal. So some examples of audio interfaces. Your standard audio interface is going to look something like this. This one's a Behringer. It's a reasonably inexpensive audio interface. Works perfectly fine. There's also Focusrite makes audio interfaces. They've got a series of them called Scarlett that are extremely popular, really high quality, and they do a great job. One of the things with these types of audio interfaces, which are the most common ones, are that there's usually only one or two inputs. You can get larger ones that, for more money, that have more inputs, which basically allows you to connect more things at the same time. For recording a piano video, it's probably, you're going to be wanting at least one input for just the piano for a mono signal, or two inputs for a stereo signal. Or if you want to sing along, you're going to want a third input for your microphone. So what I tend to prefer for recording videos is a mixer that has an audio interface built in. So it's just a different version of an audio interface. So the Roland Go Mixer Pro, I've had this one for about a year now. I use it to make almost all of my videos. Super easy to use. It's actually designed specifically for making videos easily with a smartphone. Works extremely well, very simple to understand and set up. So this is one that I would highly recommend if you're just getting started in this. I have my piano hooked up to it. I have two different mics. I've got the lapel mic I'm using right now hooked up to it, and then I've also got my singing mic as well hooked up to it. So you can hear all of that stuff at once, mix the volumes together to get them the way you like them, that type of thing, and then they all get included in that audio signal. Now there's also an Alesis Multimix. This is one that I've just actually picked up. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. It's basically a little more fancy than the Roland one that I have, so jury's still out on that one, but I'll have a review of that up later on. Now there is one other unique situation where you might not even need a audio interface. That is if you happen to own a Yamaha P125 piano. It's a very popular digital piano. That one actually has a feature that's really rare, which is that USB port that I was saying only sends MIDI data. On the Yamaha P125, they've built an audio interface into that. So if you own a Yamaha P125, you don't need an external audio interface. You can just use that USB MIDI port to connect directly to your phone, and that's going to work. If you want to sing along, though, you are still going to need an audio interface because you're only going to get the piano signal from that. Okay, so there's my Roland Go Mixer Pro. It's actually what I'm using to record this video right now. So how to connect your piano to your audio interface. First thing you need to figure out is what are your options on your piano for audio outputs. If you have dedicated line out ports, you might have one, in which case it's a stereo port, and you should be getting a splitter cable to get a stereo signal into your audio interface. Or if it's two separate ports marked left and right, then those are each going to be mono ports. So instead of a splitter cable, you're just going to want two separate mono cables. If you have no audio outputs, then you're going to need to use one of your headphone jacks on your piano. That'll be a stereo signal, so once again, you'll need a splitter cable. So now to tell what different kind of cables look like, if you look at these ports here, these have single black lines, so that's mono. This one has dual black lines, so that's going to be stereo. So in my example, I have no audio output options on my Roland FP30, so I have to use the headphone port. So the headphone port's stereo, so I plug this into the headphone port with the two lines, and then it's a splitter cable that splits into two mono signals, and then I plug those into my audio interface. That's actually what's going on right here. Those are the inputs for my piano. And then there's actually a volume control for the piano there. So if you had a left and right separate audio output jacks on your piano, you would get two cables that basically just look like this at each end, and then connect from your piano to the left and the right on your audio interface. Now, if you choose to get an audio interface not like this one that only has one port available, that's fine. And what you would do then is, if you had a left and right audio output on your piano, you would just connect the left to the audio interface. And if you have a stereo single port output, whether it's a headphone or a line out, then you'd get the same cable that I've got here, which is the stereo one for plugging into your piano. Then you would just take the left cable and take that and plug it into your audio interface if you only have one port available. So then in the Go Mixer Pro, I've also got a microphone plugged in, which is the mic that I sing with. You can also plug in a guitar into this one. You can plug in this is the mic I'm talking out of right now, which is a lapel mic that's clipped to my shirt. And then you can also have, I've got my iPad plugged in here as well. So you can hear anything that I'm playing off my iPad, like a YouTube song or something that I want to play along with. They each have all of their own volume controls. And then this is the overall volume. Then I can output that to headphones, or I could even plug in a set of external speakers to this as well if I wanted. So super handy little device. And then how to connect the mixer once you've got everything hooked up to your audio interface, how to connect that to your phone. There's going to be a USB output of some sort on your audio interface that will then go into whatever type of recording device you're using, your camera or your phone, so you just need to get the correct cable for that. In the example of the Roland Go Mixer Pro, this is a micro USB port, which then plugs into the Lightning port on my iPhone, which I'm using to record this video. The Go Mixer Pro does come with cables to connect to a Lightning port on an iPhone or to connect to an Android phone. The cable is kind of short though, so I did go out into Amazon and find an extension cable. Okay, so once you're all connected, then you can just use whatever video recording app is available on your device, and you should be good to go. There are tons of different apps out there. The built-in video recording app on your phone is going to work. I've tried a bunch of different ones, and there are also actually some that are made by Roland specifically for the Go Mixer Pro that work okay. I've actually ended up using, for the most part, an app from Yamaha called My Recorder. It just happens to work really, really well, and it's super easy to use, but any of these apps are going to be fine. So next steps to get started. First thing is to decide on how many inputs you're going to need in an audio interface. If you just want to record your piano, I mean, one input's fine. You'll get a mono signal, but that's okay. Two inputs might be a little better because you get a stereo signal. And then if you want to sing along, then you're going to need to add another port for a microphone. Once again, though, I would personally recommend the Roland Go Mixer Pro as a really easy way to get started, just because it's super easy to use and it is designed to work with smartphones. So hope that helps you get started, and happy video recording.